Yeah, I love behind the scenes videos, so I thought I'd do a behind the scenes of how I made the video for Of the Sorrows. We started shooting on Christmas Day around 7 a.m. Me and my friend Dave, he helped me produce it. Here I am the night beforehand trying to figure out how to fly a drone for the first time so that I could take it up into the sky and take scans of these buildings, which I then brought into reality capture. And then using photogrammetry, I was able to get these crude scans that I could clean up in Cinema 4D and then start to build out from there. So I'd track the footage in After Effects, and then I'd get those models into Cinema 4D and I'd clean them up a little bit, and that would allow me to cache all of these cloth simulations on top of them. I'd then texture them in Octane and light them using HDRIs that I'd take on the day, and I made this cloth texture that I was able to get some realism with, and then I just did it again and again and again 14, 15 times, and yeah, then everything crashed and I lost all my work and I couldn't recover it and I had to start again. So I started again, and I did 40 scenes this time. I bashed them all out. I used After Effects again to do the compositing, so I just had to cut out anything that came in front of the fabrics, and I just spent hours and hours, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours every night after work just working on it like this. I made these little signs as well that are based on Dublin place names, and they were modular so that I could just change them to put whatever copy I wanted on top. Just hours and hours and hours.
Sure, I was back working so long that the wildflowers were growing around me.
Sometimes I couldn't take the drone up, so I'd use a modified version of Chrome, Render Doc, and a Blender plug-in by somebody called Ellie Michelle, and I'd take that into Cinema 4D then and clean the models up. I did a lot of hand animation as well for the likes of the hourglass, as well as a bunch of text animation. I used Embergen to generate the flames by bringing in the FBXs from Cinema 4D for my scenes and then tracking the footage back into After Effects. I also made these CCTV cameras that would follow an attractor the whole time so that I could do interesting things like this and point the camera back at the viewer. I went through a bunch of different fabric options, and the night before the very last day of the video shoot, I was going through hand sewing all these pieces so that I could take them out, get the drone up and work with a friend of mine, Wesley, Dillon, the actor. And it ended up just being one of my favourite days in general, just being out in the hills, in the mountains with two people I absolutely love. The night beforehand I went to see an amazing play called Become a Maggie, and the writer, a friend of mine, told me to break a leg the next day on the shoot, and I went mental at him because you can't say that to somebody that's directing and not acting. Because I ended up going and breaking my leg on the shoot. I had a little fall on the mountain, snapped the oak, fuming, bollocks. I'm just gonna have to get back on the horse and start again. Yeah, just got straight back to it anyway, broken leg, and got straight into the edit. I'd been at this video for months at that stage because simulating all these cloths and just working through the motions the way I wanted to would just take so long. But ultimately it was a combination of Cinema 4D, After Effects, Photoshop, Blender, Embergen, a bunch of other stuff, hand animation, and just being out filming with two people that I absolutely adore. There's my Premiere Pro timeline. It was a relatively straightforward final edit. Here's my first steps again. After 5.5 weeks, it felt so good to be back moving. Making art is a joy. It gives me life. It's scary to share it sometimes, but I'm so proud to be able to have that experience with all of yous. Thanks for watching. Peace.